Scoping out the hunters with the light. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Balance League. We are got an interesting game today. We've got the good old Sir John Joe in, a very well acquainted colleague of mine who's brought me into this. So he's kind of like my boss, really. So I've got to be going on best performance. But after all, MSI, if you've all been watching that, we've got a better quality game right here. So we've of course got the Frostbite Gladiators versus Gracelight Violet. And with me filling in my knowledge gaps, because I've probably got quite a few, it's been a while, is Jurocat. How you doing?
Oh, doing good.
Yep. How are we
Yeah.
feeling for this game?
A little bit nervous, but
Oh,
I think this game's gonna be great.
yeah. I think it could be interesting to see. I'm probably looking from a meta point of view, really. We're into week 2 back in the
Yeah.
Balance League, so in terms of the teams, and there's not really too much to say here at the moment, but in terms of where the champions, the items are, that's probably where
That's
we'll probably be
real different
looking
than
at.
last week, probably.
Yeah, I know exactly. Who's bit of background? What's your league background like, playing champion wise roles? What's your
I play a lot of Velvet. That's my
oh
go-to.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be good to see maybe some Belveth in there. Did pop up in MSI occasionally, and did do pretty well in some occasions. So we are just waiting to get into the ban phase, but we're going to let you know. I think it's still the case. There was a bit of discrepancy whether the sub was in or not, but yeah. So they do lose 2 bans now. Is
It was 3 bands.
3 bans? Sorry. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
2. Yeah, 3 bans. Thank you. There you go. You see, already filling the knowledge gaps. So there you go. I called it. Cast a prediction. But yeah, so Gracelight Violet are going to be losing 3 bans in 3 games. So that could tip the scales, obviously, in terms of who they can pick, because they're just going to basically have 5 less champions that they can pick. So yeah, and Frostbite didn't play last week as well, so this is their first game in Valence. So we don't have any kind of season meta of who they've played, but any particular champions you want to see or expecting to see here, JoeCap?
I was looking at the repeat.ggs earlier, and
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we'll see some Karthus from Shenzhen
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's been playing that a lot. We'll probably see some Karthus from one of the junglers. I mean, not Karthus, Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix from
Yeah.
one of the junglers.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Kazakhs actually come out recently. I remember the days when it was Kazakhs versus the Rengar, the two prime assassin junglers. But actually, poignantly there, you can see the newest champion on the Rift, Milio, taken out first one. Probably just don't want to deal with that kind of OP new champion, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's OP. The cleanse on the R is really good in
Yeah.
a lot of cases. Uh,
Yeah,
um,
so obviously you can extend range. Works very well on all ADCs. Probably, obviously great range for the Caitlyn, and also adding range to the shorter range ADCs like Draven. So, yeah, of course, got to just time those bans down. So that is back straight to Frost. I almost said Frostfire. Sorry, not Frostfire. It's
Frostbite Gladiator.
Frostbite Gladiators. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get used to those names. But yeah, so we're coming into the second ban here, taking their sweet time. They've got to go for something. Yeah, you can
Jin.
see. Yeah,
I think
interesting.
Jin's a good band right now. Jin's like mega good with Goinsus.
Oh yeah, Guinsoo's is probably one of the strongest items right now, isn't it? In terms of, I mean, ADC items has definitely changed quite a lot recently. And yeah, of course, you've got the likes of the Immortal Shield Bow, which doesn't seem to come out as often as it used to, as well.
I don't think I've ever seen someone like do Immortal Shiba at all this patch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Gale Force is so strong right now, isn't it, with the dash that, adding a dash to an immobile ADC like a Misfortune, a Jin, obviously, really does add to it. So, I think we saw a lot of Jinx in the MSI. So Jinx with the dash really does make a difference there. So 2 bans down, 1 more of the first phase, and it's the Jarvan coming in. Pretty standard. I mean, Jarvan's always pretty much a strong jungler across the board, isn't he, really?
Yeah, really good jungler across the board. He's also really easy to pilot as well.
Yeah.
There's really hard to make a lot of mistakes on him unless it's macro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as long as you hit your flag and drag, then you're going to be singing. So does kind of fall off, obviously, towards the end of the game. So, can depend on that strategy. But now we're finally ticked down on the bans, and for Gracelight Violet to not ban. There we go. We talked about him earlier, and we talked about the impact he's going to have, and Nautilus, the first pick of the game, priority pick. What do you think kind of makes Nautilus such a priority at the moment?
It depends on the role. For mid, it's because mages are not it just basically destroys mages. So having him pick mid is just really good in that case. And in support, it's just a really good tank that can engage pretty easily.
Yeah. So of course Camby is pretty much a flex pick. I mean, he was even in the jungle there as well. So 3 different potential roles that Nautilus could go into. But on the other side, the Gracelight Violet, can be more of a bot lane if they tried. So yeah, Zyra and Rakan.
It's the standard Zyra Rakan, yeah.
Yeah. They did get a few buffs actually, like their synergy, didn't they, on their abilities? So the extended feathers, I should say, and I think the recall might have had a little buff there as well. So yeah, and just like we were talking about as well, just MSI all over really. Jake's coming in there for the enemy bot lane, so could be a Jinx Nautilus. Is a pretty strong combination there, but as you can see,
Jinx Lulu.
Yeah, my theory is going to be wiped out straight away, and Lulu is going to come in. Yeah, I do really like the Lulu as well. It's probably the strongest peel support, I think, for me at the moment, and can also dish the damage pretty well, I think.
I think so too. I've seen Lulu do some real damage in non-support roles, so I assume support would be it still be the same.
Yeah.
Ooh, Poppy pick here. Wonder if that's going top or jungle.
Yeah, it has been more prevalent in jungle, I believe. So
it's actually been more prevalent in top in pro play at least.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm a jungler myself, so I do play Poppy occasionally, but I think at low elo, it's a bit harder to, Poppy, you've got to kind of rely on your team slightly to do the damage. So pro play, obviously, great pick, top or jungle. It does look like, so they've got their 2 bans, obviously.
Victor is banned.
Yeah.
Victor has Platypus played a lot of Victor. So
okay.
As far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, like you can see on Frostbite Gladiators that they just have their mid and, I mean, potentially mid maybe, but probably their jungle and top is potential as well. So that's obviously where they'll be targeting. So it does look like Gracelight Violet, they think the Nautilus might be on jungle instead with that Victor ban. Maybe, yeah.
That makes sense.
And then
August ban as well. That could be a jungle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's a good kind of another flex ban as well. Grags seen in the top lane, and we did see the Irelia and 1 more ban for Frostbite Gladiators to pick. Just trying to think about it, but so far, yeah, pretty heavy meta really. Nothing out of the ordinary for this first game here. And
Mordekaiser.
Yeah, just to finish it off. Yeah, I mean.
I think they're banking on that Poppy being jungle.
Yeah, it does seem likely. I think probably as well from knowing the enemy team, they probably maybe know that the jungler of Gracelight Violet has been seen to play Poppy as well. So it does make sense. As you can see, Syndra being hovered here.
Syndra, I think, could be pretty good in the Nautilus. Be able to peel yourself out of the hook and stuff like that. However, wait, what? Maybe it's being covered here.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're thinking about it. Maybe it's a play, but
maybe. That means the Nautilus could be going jungle if they
So the
pick it.
mind
Oh, they pick
games,
Kha'Zix.
yeah, cheeky mind games there. But there we go. Yeah, you were mentioning Kha'Zix before. I think yeah, could be interesting as well. But obviously can be countered by that Poppy with the W blocking those jumps. So be interesting to see what their final pick is here.
Yeah. I mean, I like the trend here, and Ornn as well. Ornn is good. Ornn's just able to like slap beef with whatever tank top laner they got.
Yeah, there we go. All locked in. So we can probably deduce the Nautilus is going mid in the end. Looks like it. So interesting matchup there with the Syndra as their opponent, and as the final pick here, the Fiora locked in there. How do you rate these matchups then? I mean, Ornn Fiora could be an interesting one. Ornn's going to be very defensive and hard to take down for the Fiora, of course. But I think I'm thinking maybe bot lane is probably going to be probably where the most action is.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's also like a bot-centric meta at the moment still, because of the ADC item switch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and how do you see the kind of the ADC matchup there?
The ADC matchup there, I think Jinx Lulu wins. I genuinely think Jinx Lulu wins. Jinx is just hella protected by the Lulu.
Yeah, and of course does help with Pixie and those extra kind of auto attacks on the damage, and but I think I think Rakan in the right hands can be played very well. The charm, the knockups, and Xayah obviously very mobile champion. With that Feather Storm, obviously, to get out of the Nautilus ultimate, to get out of the Ornn knockup. So, yeah, I think the Jinx here has got a lot more protection generally in her team.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, the Kha'Zix is an interesting pick because when I did see it watch at MSI, it did seem excessive to the composition, Kha'Zix is kind of the odd one out in this composition, really.
I actually think it works here because like the
Yeah.
only other carry besides Kha'Zix would be Jinx.
Yeah.
So like because like the mid and top are tanks.
Yeah.
So having a separate carry from Jinx, so you're not just relying on the Jinx winning lane, makes it so that you don't just immediately lose if Jinx loses lane.
Yeah, you got your backup option. Always good. Best plan to a backup plan. That's what I say.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, probably on the complete flip side, almost for Gracelight Violet. They've just got the Rakan Poppy and then 3 potential carries to really lead the line there. So, who do you think is kind of going to be going for it more early game, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a slow start, maybe?
I think the Frostbite Gladiators are gonna try and get things done early. Because if they can get the Jinx ahead, if they can get Kha'Zix ahead, it's just gonna be like game over.
Yeah.
Like, if they can get really ahead with them.
Yeah, because this is the thing, though. Obviously, if the Kha'Zix doesn't get those kills, doesn't get that first blood, isn't getting involved, then we'll easily fall behind. And compared to a Poppy that's going to fall behind, that's not too bad, really. You're still a tanky Poppy, still knock away half the enemy team. But a Kha'Zix that's fallen behind is just going to be a bit of a squishy bug, really. So
It's the feast or famine.
exactly. Yeah. Exactly, and clearly Mithy is all up for that. So as we just wait a bit longer for this wonderful spectator delay, but overall, seeing just picks, the bands, the draft, I suppose, who's your out and out winner if you had to pick one right now?
I think Frostbite Gladiators might win. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think this particular matchups are pretty close.
yeah. I mean, normally I've seen that there is one quite stronger composition than the other, but I think these two are quite different in terms of their style. You've got the Nautilus Ornn frontline with a Lulu behind him, which is actually a pretty meaty wall with a Jinx in the back there, and it's kind of like you said, feast or famine. If that Jinx doesn't position well, then the whole composition falls apart. But I think there's more backups and more options for Gracelight Violet to be able to win the game. I think more win conditions for sure.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then again, I mean, you can see it as not many tanks, so quite an easy team to take down that has a Nautilus, has an Ornn. So the engage is really where it's going to lie, because we're in, like you said, we're in bot lane, and bot lane
It's pause
meta
immediately.
had all this time. Clearly just needs a bottle with them, but there you go. So I've got a bit of a pause, and I think we're going to be lining up. Possibly. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, man. Yep, we'll give it a go. There we go. Yep, we've of course got a trusty streamer with us, so shout out to Amy for doing all the technical work while we can just talk constantly. But yeah, I'm interested. I mean, there was one game, again, MSI is obviously the most recent kind of pro games, and any competitive games really watched, because without balance. How much do you still weigh blue and red side? Do you still think there's
Set
that
is a
old...
bit favored. Yeah.
Yeah, because Mad Lions, when they played G2, they chose red side for quite a lot of them. But yeah, I mean, talked about obviously Annie blue side. But yeah,
Like
so
each of them have like their own like separate like advantages and disadvantages.
yeah,
Like being able to like ban out first for blue side is a lot easier. Whereas for like red sides you get the counter pick advantage, right?
yeah,
Plus
yeah,
it's a lot easier to win on like the camera view of blue side as well.
yeah, indeed. And not too much happening here. Everyone being pretty disciplined in terms of watching their posts, and it was good to see a lot of level 1 shenanigans in pro play as well. Nice to see they broke away from the professionalism, maybe, as it were.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see here, it does look like that one jungler, well, Kha'Zix's starting in the top side, maybe. Starting on that blue, working down to the bot lane to try and get that first kill. And, of course, BMO keeping them guessing, keeping us guessing, I guess, where they're going to start.
Yeah. Looks like they might be starting bot side.
Yeah, I think that was always going to be the case, wasn't it? Get that blue buff, Poppy, of course. Needing that sustain in the jungle. But Kha'Zix, yeah, where it looked like he was going to be blue, I thought I was a bit surprised by that. But yeah, both junglers starting in the bottom sides and therefore probably working their way up. But we'll see how they do in that as we get underway for this Balance League game. Give us your votes in the chat if you want, if you're watching. Give us that hashtag Violet or hashtag Frost, maybe. That's always good. Frost or Violet.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, of course, on blazing the frosted skin, probably matching his team colours there. So yeah, so we got an engage already early on as well. Jinx taking a lot of damage. The ignite ticking as well, but just maybe a bit of a warning shot there. Not really, probably going to be getting the kill there.
Yeah, I don't think that was going to be an all in there. It's a little hard to all in, really, even as I recon.
Yeah.
Against the Lulu.
Yeah, just about that early game dominance. And Nautilus as well, of course, being pushed in. The Syndra at will be making that lead for sure. But got to be careful. Early game, not tanky at the moment. Taking a bit of damage there. I'm going to walk away. Meanwhile, Syndra has tried to do that deep. Unfortunately, gets the hook in, flash away. Trying to flash to safety, but just flashes into the face of the Nautilus. And that is the first blood going over to Plat Police.
Yeah, that was a costly mistake for T-Bear.
Yeah, interesting flash. Not sure, but yeah, just bad timing on the ward placement there. I think it was really. And
yeah, I think that was a panic flash. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. There was no real direction in that, and of course BMO is around, but unfortunately too late for that. So yeah, good response I think from Mithy, and I think just unfortunate really from T-Bear. But you know, one kill doesn't change the game completely, but you know.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't. At least not. At least not really. Like later games, it definitely changes things.
Yeah. Indeed. And in terms of CS, both teams matching pretty well, but you can see the aggression there coming in again from the bot lane of Team Violet.
Ooh.
And Xayah getting very, very low. They're going in. Jinx has activated the goes. This is kill time right here. Flashes away. One more hit should do it. No, the bush getting out of vision, and the knock up on the Rakan might save her, might save his wonderful love, and saves himself in the end with a flash. And that almost very much backfired there to a double kill to the Jinx.
Yeah, it was a good engage from Jinx and Lulu.
Yeah, you saw the turnaround there and the ghost and the flash pop. So a lot of summoner spells burnt there. And for the next 5 minutes, all going to be looking very juicy to a certain purple bug, possibly. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the action happening in the bot lane to start with.
Yeah. Offline getting a nice little trade here.
Yeah, pretty even. Oh, does well to parry the knock up there. Brilliant play from Monzi. Is he going to be able to secure it with the kill? But of course, Ornn is no slouch either. He's going to be doing some good damage, but getting those vitals, being able to tap it one more just against the wall to block. Very well played by Sir Jonjo there, not allowing the vital to be popped.
Yeah, that was really good.
Indeed, yeah. So you can see first Drake as well, just about to come up. I believe that is a Infernal Drake. So good solo Drake to have. Increase your damage stats. But how do you make kind of the junglers so far? Poppy not really had much of an any impact really in this game yet.
Yeah. I think. Oh, no. Okay.
Yep. Bit of an
I was going to make a point.
Yeah, that's okay. Yep. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Kha'Zix is doing really good here. Smithy is decidedly doing like a lot more impact on the field than I think BMO is currently.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your Kha'Zix. Obviously, it's got that early game damage. Maybe could be doing a bit more, but a bit restricted at the moment. You can see most lanes are pushed in across the board. Of course, that mid lane going to be difficult pre-6 to do anything, but you can see.
Yeah, Kha'Zix also looking for an invade here on the Raptors.
Yeah, I think he's noticed that BMO is probably going to be bot side, so we'll be able to take one camp away, and BMO is gone there. But we've got the depth charge coming in. He flashes over the wall, an easy kill for Mithy, and he gets his first kill of the game. And it's a kill and assist each for the mid laner and jungler. But
Tower dive going on here as well.
We're going straight in for the tower dive. I don't think they're going to do enough damage because the bot lane for Team Violet is not there anymore, and BMO is on his own. He's going to have to flash away to safety there. Is he going to come out? But the Kha'Zix is there to clean up as well. And that, unfortunately, was mission failed pretty hugely there.
Got him next time.
Yeah, better luck next time indeed, yeah. And it's kind of falling apart here for Gracelight Violet. Down 3 kills to 0, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think just poor execution there, or bad timing from?
I think it was just poor execution.
Yep.
I don't even know if he should have gone for the dive there.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, wasn't kind of watching where his team was, and not being allowed. But this could be the revenge of the bot lane. Rakan going in, the ignite's ticking, taking down. Kill goes over to the Rakan, and now the Poppy is back for vengeance. But Shenzhen does have his flash here and is able to get to safety. But crucially, first kill on the board for Gracelight Violet, and unfortunately, it does go to the support. But it is a step in the right direction at least.
Yeah, I mean the ignite was kind of like it's not kill stealing, it's kill securing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it to go over to your ADC, but you know, better to get the kill at all in the first place. So you can see Miffy is lurking around again, 2 kills, and with that serrated Dirk, is probably going to be doing a fair bit of damage, hitting that level 6, and of course means getting those evolved spikes. Seems like, but I of course can just check that myself rather than everyone else. But yeah, it does look like the Q has been evolved on the Kha'Zix. So
Q has been evolved. Okay.
Yeah, so of course, going for that isolated bonus damage, and first Drake also going to be taken as well.
And I'm not going to Frostbite Gladiators.
Yeah, huge. I mean, 700 gold difference. So, despite the 2-kill difference, so I mean, it kind of does just about work out. So, people think 3 kills to 1, maybe looking pretty bad, but all is not lost. Got a bit of a bounty on the Kha'Zix as well, and the farming side keeping up pretty well though for Gracelight Violet.
Yeah.
And you might notice, Jokat, as well, we got to keep an eye on Rift Herald, because unfortunately directed camera does not value Rift Herald all the time. So poor Shelly is not included in major incidents sometimes. So we've got to watch that. But I think Monzi's got to watch himself instead, because he's been caught out by the Kha'Zix, get knocked up by the Ornn. Good parry as well to get away, though. Great dash, but will she be able to get to safety? The Ghost is popped as well. And indeed, Monzi is able to get away there. Very close indeed.
Just barely, though. Almost got caught out.
Yeah. But at least I'm glad to say that, see, Shelly being taken, but apparently bot lane is more interesting. Just really unfortunate, right? But yeah, managed to just get away there in the nick of time. We've got a bit more of an engage in the bot lane. The charm has been activated onto the Lulu. She's getting very low. Wild Growth trying to save her, but Korean Sophia gets her first kill of the game. And that's crucial in this bot lane battle, with the Jinx still not a kill to her name.
Okay. That's what I was talking about earlier, about like if Jinx like loses lane, it's a little hard for her to come back.
Yeah.
Because right now Jinx is losing lane.
Yeah, minions are pushed under the turrets. Just about there. Interrupts the base, at least for one of them. Unfortunately, out of the 2 lovebirds, the Rakan was the one to return. So, yeah, like you said, though, that Xayah should probably be able to upgrade to a full item now, maybe. Not sure how much gold she's kicking. She's got about 1,300 gold. So that maybe should be enough. My gold knowledge is not always.
I don't remember like what the actual cost of the items are.
Yeah. So, but it does look like going for that. I was going to say Phantom Dancer. No.
I think they're going for Static Shiv here.
Or Static Shiv, yeah, I know.
Or Gale Force. I don't even remember if Gale Force has Static Shiv. I mean,
the shard, yeah. I can't. No, I'm pretty sure it hasn't. I'm not a. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, so going Storm Razor instead.
Storm Razor, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Gives it makes sense. Storm Razor does wipe things around, right? The waves around. So.
Yeah. See, of course, now they're trying to go on this engage on the Nautilus. He is very tanky indeed. He has, of course, got that Abyssal Mask to reduce the magic damage. And he's just going to be able to just hang around. Of course, he has got his fair jungler with him as well, but we're going to be jumping back and forth between the 2 lanes. Rakan is getting very low. One more hit should do it. The charm, though, is going to save him in the end. The Fiora under turret, knocked down and killed. Sir Jonjo turns it around there and is able to really time that ultimate very well. The Ornhorn coming through and gets his first kill of the game. And in the mid lane as well, we did not see any kills there in the end. The Rakan able to save his own blushes and charm his way to safety there.
Yeah, that was that was a nice outfight from Sir Jonjo there.
Yeah, really just that chain CC from Ornn is how you kind of win those fights. So you can see Plat Police has not got any mana yet left, so it's just going to get some of that turret plate gold and probably walk back to base. Yeah, indeed. But you can see this bot lane, they're looking for more kills. The Rakan kill log is on the prowl. Spotted the Lulu, and unfortunately going to be caught in no man's land here. Flashes away, getting away for now. Wild Growth is going to be popped just for safety. Probably would have been fine, but you never know in these fights. And bot lane of Gracelight Violet really turned the screw here.
I believe Lulu ulted there, actually, just to get out of that.
Yeah, it's a big cooldown flash as well. So, unfortunately, their top lane counterpart is struggling a bit here. Of course, the Dawn has got to his tanky stage, as it were. So Monzi's kind of missed his window to be able to squishily take down. But another knock up onto Lulu. There's no wild growth here. There's no flash. And now the Jinx is just by herself as well. The Ignite did get popped. But Mithy is here as well. The fellow jungler is there. Knocks away the Kha'Zix, but they're both very low. So it's just a defense ultimate instead of an attack one. And at least they are able to walk away there with their lives. But looking very dangerous there with the Kha'Zix on that Yumi's Ghostblade as well.
Got the back there too.
Yeah, stopping the interrupt there. But we've got the Nautilus that has roamed down to the bot lane, trying to do something, help his Jinx and Lulu out. But again, no kill there. And we can see the gold pretty much even after all that. That Gracelight Violet managed to pull it back in that bot lane. And now, bit of top lane back and forth here.
Syndra is coming into the top lane as well to help.
Oh yeah, the stun as well, but it is a very, very tanky Ornn, and unfortunately, he's going to be able to walk away from that. Didn't have any much magic resist, but do you know what? I think if the Unleashed Power had come out, I think that would have been a dead Ornn.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure. Gracelight Violet is going to get the dragon here. Oh no, that's Frostbite Gladiators. So, yeah.
Frostbite Gladiators getting their second dragon of the game, and it's going to be a Cloud Soul. Which probably crucially for Gracelight Violet won't really have much of an impact on the outcome of the game. I think
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's like this move speed, so like, it doesn't really affect either of these teams' comps.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, on the Kha'Zix with his Void Assault, being able to use when he does get to use 3 charges, he does move very fast. In that with
he also has Yomos too, so that is fair.
So he can cover quite a lot of distance there, I suppose. But in terms of the bot lane here, the Lulu is caught again. Didn't even need the BMO coming in the side here. And unfortunately, third death of the game for Shenzhen means the third kill of the game for Korean Sophia.
3-0.
Yeah. 3-0 for Korea, indeed. And that's normally how we've seen it go. So nothing to be expected, because you said you were quite adamant on this Jinx Lulu doing quite well, but I think they've just been caught out many times. Really.
Yeah, the positioning has been kind of off recently.
Yeah,
like, on paper it seemed like Jinx Lulu was going to win this lane, but
should really in theory, but we can see Monty is very low under turret, but you thought maybe the Kha'Zix might come and secure the kill there, but instead they're focusing onto this tanky Nautilus. He is getting very, very low. One more knockup will do it, but unfortunately, it's just a Poppy to apply the damage, and you're not really going to be doing that. But Syndra, T-Bear has got the Unleashed Power there. Riftheld is going to go down as well in the meantime to Mithy, and they're going to get the hell out of there. But the Poppy is here, the flash away. The W here to prevent the Kha'Zix, and that is a shutdown going to the T-Bear, and their Ornn is just by himself. Maybe tanky 4-man knockup. He gets 1 kill out of it, but his life is going to be taken in the end. In that fight 1-for-1, but overall, the jungler being shut down, Mithy being taken out, and T-Bear getting his first kill of the game. Really positive fight there for Gracelight Violet.
Yeah, interesting thing to note before we get into more fights. Looks like Ornn has gotten Bramble Vest, which means he might be going for Thornmail here.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure if that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably thinking with just the Syndra, as long as he can avoid the Syndra, every other enemy is going to be doing physical damage. So yeah.
But
so,
like Grievous Wound is what I'm thinking.
Oh, the Grievous Wounds, yeah. I'm not sure. Going into a Bramble Vest early is much of a solution, really. I mean, there's healing on the Fiora, I suppose.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I guess it might be a lane pick then.
Yeah, I think it was a lane build. But you can see here the Nautilus was in the top side. Plat Police, but is going to be heading on back down. Both mid lane turrets still standing. And that really probably does mean the game hasn't quite broken open yet. Only 1 turret in total taken down so far in that bot lane. But yeah, there was a possible engage, but in the end, No one fighting here. Drake coming up in about a minute and a half as well, so it's a bit of a lull in amongst all that action. As I say that, Ornn is going to be seeking revenge onto the Syndra, but she flashes away, able to get away from that. The Mithy doing his part here.
Really goes out, and
yeah. But now the turret is
does
gone
get the
down.
tower here.
Yeah, and now Monzi has activated the Grand Challenge onto Nautilus, but it is two beefy boys coming after her, wanting this Fiora. She's going to dash to safety, though. Does get the knock-up for now. Flash over the wall. Depth charge coming in, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything else there, because now the Rakan is trying to knock up the Lulu, but there the Polymorph was actually able to prevent it there. And
Polymorph was perfectly timed there.
Yeah, it was an interesting interaction there. Not seen that come through before, so nicely timed. Getting a hook onto the Poppy for now. Double stun onto the Nautilus and the Ornn. They both get knocked up in the end by the Rakan. Nautilus getting very, very low indeed. Wild Growth is popped onto Sir Jonjo, so he's going to be able to walk out there with the skin of his teeth. And at the moment, Gracelight Violet, they are holding strong. They are the ones dealing damage here over Frostbite Guardians.
Yeah, so it's a nice little comeback there from that early game. So.
Gladiators, not Guardians. They're attacking. Yeah. Yeah, I know. In the spur of the moment. Syndra calls out here with the slow as well. Nautilus coming back as well from the TP, but has he bitten off more than he can chew? He's walking back. A lot of damage going down onto the big man. And Plat Police is the one to go down in the end. Just not enough conviction there from Frostbite Gladiators.
That might
have been a kill indeed. As Dragon is going to be started up. There is a Jinx. No ultimate, unfortunately. No Super Mega Death Rocket to steal the Dragon. Gracelight Violet probably got to be a bit careful here. They have got a lot of damage on their side, so they can melt this Dragon pretty quickly, but it's reset. Gone back to the spot, and of course you have got Sir Jonjo in there, trying to do as much damage as he can. He is facing the fury of the entire team. He is taken down very quickly. Jinx is in no man's land. Bimo is the one to get that kill, and now Mithy is by himself. He's going to try and get out of there as soon as he can, but it is a Fiora. It is a strong top laner, and you're not going to win that battle. Unfortunately, the bug has been squished. Gracelight Violet are very much in the lead now.
Very much in the lead, yeah. 3k gold deficit, 5 kills. Like they may not. They have the towers like going as well too. Tower advantage as well too.
Yeah, it's all changed quite quickly, really. I mean, we thought 3 kills to 0, and Frostbite Gladiators were starting to run away with it, really. But credit to Gracelight Violet, they've held strong, and that bot lane has certainly been the key to this turnaround with that 4 kills on the Xayah there. So coming to this kind of mid-game phase, Kha'Zix was doing well, but you know, has been pegged back a few times and does have a couple of irons, but it's certainly going to be harder for him to jump into that team and be able to get a solo kill, that's for sure.
For sure. Yeah, it looks like they've all swapped lanes as well. Mid's going top, bot's going mid, and then top's going bot.
Yeah, a very nice play. T-Bear has taken the bug, but unfortunately the bigger purple bug is next to you there. Is Mithy going to be able to get a kill? No! The knock-up done very well. Bimo supporting his mid laner, giving over the kill, and that's unfortunately a third death for Mithy. Thought it could just kind of get a quick one-shot kill, but in the end, 2 bugs being killed there in the river.
Yeah.
But
looks like that's fun.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth here. So Jonjo thinks he can hold strong. Monzi as well, both very cocky top lanes at the moment, both thinking they can do it. Of course, Sir Jonjo trying to heal as much, but I think the Fiora probably wins this fight.
Oh yeah, definitely now with items.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Divine Thunder.
Interesting buy from Nautilus as well. They bought even Shrouds or Mythic.
Yeah.
Probably to deal with the knockup from Rakan and the stun from Syndra, as well as the stun from Poppy as well.
Yeah, I mean, on a Nautilus makes sense, doesn't it? So you just pop the depth charge, and it's going to kill everyone. But Fiora is by herself at the moment. It's 2v1. The Ornn is very low, so you can try and maybe get a kill fresh onto someone here, but is just caught between 2 posts, going back and forth, and a very simple kill in the end for the 2 players on Frostbite Gladiators. and probably a sigh of relief for Mithy there to finally get and stop that that dying streak. Yeah. But I have to say, this Syndra has been doing very well. T-Bear doing very well, but might just be caught out here at the moment. Got to be careful. That unleashed power is there and is dangerous as well, doing a lot of damage, and that is exactly what it does. T-Bear is able to walk away, popping the memes as well, popping the emotes. And unfortunately, yeah, like you said, this Jinx just hasn't been able to stay in this game, and just taken out very easily there in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, very difficult as an ADC. That's why I kind of, would never take the role, because I feel once you're behind, you're just a squishy moving target. And that is.
I stopped taking the role because I suck at it, and I kept playing hard trying to play Aphelios.
Yeah, well, that's also a good reason as well, Aphelios. So yeah, we've all got our reasons why not to play ADC. Look, so Jonjo taking a bit of damage here. He should be okay. He's not going to be worried about that for now, but. What do you see the next plans? You're seeing Frostbite Gladiators let slip their kind of lead on this game. How do you think they're going to get back into this?
I honestly think it has to do with Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix sees the farm and then get some kills, and then we got a game on our hands.
Yeah, I hope it does for the neutral comeback and level the playing field. But for now, Gracelight Violet, they're doing well to hold the lead, and I say that, so Jonjo is coming in. The Ornhorn has been popped as well. He's gonna, but too predictable this time. Gets a really good stun. The Grand Challenge has been popped. Fiora is getting the heals, and the Ornn is getting very low as well. One more shield to do it, and the healing on the Lulu is able to keep him alive. And Monzi is the one to go down. So sad to see. Really thought could get that at least one kill, but unfortunately, Frostbite Gladiators able to support each other. And a fourth kill going over to that Kha'Zix.
Yeah, the Lulu coming in there kind of just like saved the Ornn by causing the Fiora to die. I actually don't even know who got the kill there. I wasn't able to see.
It was the Kha'Zix, yeah.
The Kha'Zix, okay.
Yeah, he's got 4 kills now on his name, so yeah, very welcome for that. And gone the Black Cleaver, of course. I mean, just
Black Cleaver makes sense.
Yeah, I mean. Fiora is relatively tanky, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage, just not quite enough yet on T-Bear. About 200 HP, but she is very much stuck. She's got a teammate coming into TP, but a very quick shutdown from Mithy flashing in. He's getting very low. He has got the rest of the team, and this is a brilliant jump and support from Frostbite Gladiators. Really good, cohesive team fight there. No deaths, 2 kills. They do lose the Drake, but is a simple Cloud Drake, and definitely a step in the right direction. I think our Cast Curse hasn't pulled off.
We're gonna 50-50 the Baron.
Yeah. But of course, yeah, BMO is in the vicinity. Looks like they're going to go straight for the team fight though, knocking the Lulu into the wall. She can't do anything. No wild growth this time. And Mao Poppy knocks the Nautilus away. Mithy getting very, very low. The jungler is down. But Frostbite Gladiators, they are coming back. Ramco is leading the line. That's his first kill of the game. It could be his second as well. Getting very low. Flat Police, sadly, is going to be taking that away from the Jinx. But no Baron. Frostbite Gladiators will take the kills and pretty much bring this game back to level pegging from there.
Okay, definitely level now. The Jinx is making a comeback, right?
Yeah,
the Jinx does scale. So, like, her losing the early game doesn't entirely cost him the entire game.
Yep, for sure. Indeed, and we do still see though Desire is 4-0. Got that lovely bounty, 550 gold on her head, so you can probably tell where the focus is going to try and be. But for now, we kind of go back to the old split pushing tactics. Fiora trying to push in that bot lane as much as can. Doesn't have the TP at the moment, so any Baron fight coming out, and she will not be around for that.
We have vision. Syndra has vision on the Kha'Zix here too.
Yep. So they do know that in the top lane, and Monzi going for the fight, but now so Jonjo has got that fully completed Jack show, so is not really going to be taking any damage, and just a little bit of a bait there again, wasn't it? That's kind of seems to be their little plan, but of course that means Gracelight Violet take that the Q to take the Baron. They can melt this pretty quickly. They've got that Desire, Kha'Zix is on his way. Can he jump in time? He is coming in. He is there. He's going to maybe do it. No, he's going to save it.
A bit too risky, I think.
Yeah, indeed. Poppy does get the knock away onto the Lulu at the moment.
Oh, the team fan after can really negate it.
He can go down. Yes, the Zaya is still alive. Getting very, very low. One more hit to do it, but the Nautilus trying to do all it can. Gets the kill, and the Jinx is now alive. Just a Poppy left in the pit. Like shooting fish in a barrel at the moment. Almost got that Nautilus, and it's a triple kill for the Jinx. And Ramco, like you said, Jinx is very much back in this game, and it's all to play for again.
Yeah, the Baron getting completely negated by the ace there is not good for Gracelight Violet.
Yeah, it was a really nice turnaround, even with that Lulu knocked away as well. So it was a 5v3 really, with the Ornn not being there as well. So the Nautilus actually coming up clutch and really holding the line, allowing the Jinx to be able to do her stuff. As 2 turrets being taken down here, just as it is in the bot lane as well. So a huge swing, basically about 1k gold in lead, which isn't much, but of course the difference made up has been huge. So a lot for Gracelight Violet to think about and reconcile as they try and hold on to this game.
Okay. I mean, like, there's no objectives coming up too, so like, I guess it's just push waves and see what you can do. Get prepared for them. The next objectives.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see now obviously some nice items on the Jinx, and of course the Ornn items coming through as well. So we've got that empowered Infinity Edge, which of course is actually called Edge of Finality. So for those item naming nerds out there, always like to see it. But Monzi again might be caught out here, doing a lot of damage to the Ornn, but unfortunately he has got back up now. Kha'Zix going straight in. The Fiora is isolated, doing so much damage, just a matter of time. And a nice tick kill there, simply going over to the Kha'Zix, catching out those split pushes, which is good to see.
Yeah. Our Dragon is coming up in soon.
Yep. Coming up in soon, indeed. Nice.
There's no timer on my screen.
You can press N. If you press N, you should get timers on your right-hand side.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even know that was a thing on Spectator Client.
Yeah. Quite a recent addition, I think, in the last couple of years. But yeah, so Cloud Drake coming up here. No soul for this time. Pretty level after those first 2 Drakes. So we'll see how it goes here as they started up. Hitting it down pretty well. Poppy's ultimate is not going to hit anyone. Coming in, does not steal the dragon, so Gracelight Violet are able to take down the enemy jungler pretty easily as they were trying to steal that. Let's kill. Mithy is on a rampage. I think it's going to be a quadra here. It is a triple. The Jinx might steal it off them, but no, it is indeed the quadra kill for Mithy. And Frostbite Gladiators, they're not Guardians because they're going on the aggression here. They're going on the attack. And they are very much, it's their game to lose now.
Yeah.
Very strong team fight there. Do you think what just happened there? I mean, it just fell apart really just for Gracelight Violet. Might even, try and look to end here.
I think there's an angle down here, yeah. The Fiora has to like come back like immediately. At the very least, to put some pressure off the split pushing. So.
Yeah.
And he gets it into him.
Oh, I mean, 10 kills now on this Kha'Zix. Did have a bit of a blip and dip in form, I suppose, as it were. Was 2 and 3 at one point. So, if you do that math, is kind of after that is 8 and 2. So, really pulled it back very well. And is always kind of harder at this stage. I've dabbled in Kha'Zix. And of course, this is when Kha'Zix, it's a lot harder to get those isolated kills is when your damage is just insane. But, doing well, picking off targets there, and fortunately, Gracelight Violet were very spread out there, so it worked very nicely for Mithy. I did discredit the Kha'Zix and see how it fitted, but credit to Mithy that he's managed to make this work.
Yeah, Mithy has done pretty well this game. So is Ramco.
Yeah. Ramco's been, again, kind of really struggled in the lane phase. and is able to just pull it back. And just that's kind of what makes a good team, really. Even in those difficult moments, that you don't tilt, you don't fall apart. You just stick to what you know, and you just know the game's going to come good. So clearly, knowing obviously the power of late game Jinx, and this composition's pulled off very nicely.
Exactly. And the Baron is coming up in 50 seconds, so we're gonna probably see a fight coming for that soon.
Indeed, using those timers nicely. So Jonjo is going to have to bail safety for now, but is going to stand pretty strong. Unfortunately, he is on his own against 3 members. I think he's just trying to keep them occupied, really. Is he going to be able to stay alive? He's going to avoid the Ornhorn knockup, unfortunately. He does get 2 knockup onto the Fiora, though. She is going to go down, and it's a bit of a catastrophe there for Gracelight Violet. Thought they were the ones winning, but indeed, it is Frostbite Gladiators who are the ones making things work. And the Ornn is able to stand strong and stand his ground while Frostbite Gladiators take down those 2 inhibitors there. Just a bit overzealous there on the Fiora. Unfortunately, Monzi has struggled on this Fiora really this game, hasn't he?
Oh,
yeah. That's kind of where you see, this is why top lane as well is very easy to be tiltable, and I think the Fiora has just extended a bit too far, probably. It's probably been a big cause of that. So a nice Baron going over to...
Yeah, Yarn was like globals ahead of people for like the entire time. They actually were the first one to get to level 18, I think.
Yeah.
So like that really outplay for Ornn really buffed him up there.
Yeah, it was really nice, and you can see, that is when a player knows their champion, knows the knockups, and knows the reaction play as well to be able to get out of a sticky situation. Because the Ornn dies, then, Gracelight Violet, they push and get that inhibitor. I mean, maybe even the Nexus turret. So, yeah, really crucial for the Ornn to stand his ground there as we're now pushing in this bot lane. Desire, of course, still a lot of damage. Yeah, stopwatch has been popped, but there is more CC to come as the hook comes in on the Syndra, goes down straight away to the Jinx. The Ornhorn knocking up all members of Gracelight Violet here, and the Fiora is in the backline though, trying to do what she can, but it is a Lulu, it is a wild growth, and the Kha'Zix is getting very, very low. He's got his team with him though. He might go down to the turret. No, the Guardian Angel is going to be saving his blushes, but unfortunately there are no blushes left for Gracelight Violet, as Frostbite Gladiators do pull it back in this game, and they take the first game in this series.
That was a showcase for sure.
Yeah, very nice game. Nice back and forth there as well. Both teams kind of having their moments. Yeah, there you go. All a bit of a mad rush at the end, really. Kind of just escalated very quickly.
Sprinted to the finish line.
Yeah, indeed. As well, I'm bringing up the damage stats, but if you come on bring it up on stream as well, you can see there that Kha'Zix doing his bit on the 37,000 damage. Ornn actually out damaging both ADCs quite substantially as well. So that does show the power of the Ornhorn indeed. So sharp as a knife. But so we'll come back and we'll probably chat about that game in the next one. Thoughts going into game 2. We'll take a little break and be back in a few minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Do you wanna hear about the deal that I'm making? You, it's you and me. And if I only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get a new swap of our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only could. And if I only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get a new swap of our places. If I only could. And if I only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get a new swap of our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only could. And if I only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get a new swap of our places. And if I only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get a new swap of our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only
Cause I love you for infinity. I love you for infinity. Cause I love you for infinity. I love you for infinity. Baby, this Cause I love you for infinity. Cause I love you for infinity.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here for this second game of the Balance League between Frostbite Gladiators and Gracelight Violet. And if you were unfortunate to miss the first game, it did spice up eventually. It was like those kind of those lawnmowers, old lawnmowers in the garden. Just you're trying to whir it up, and it's just not quite pulling. And then eventually, you get it on that after 20 minutes. The lawnmower was definitely ready and going, wasn't it, in that game?
Yeah. It was pretty back and forth as well, like for half the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, first Frostbite Gladiators kind of taking a bit of a lead and then dipped with that Zaya coming out strong, and then it just kind of all fell apart, really. Those team fights were a bit disjointed. To be fair, I mean, the coordination, you saw that top lane dive, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
From Frostbite Gladiators, and I think it was great coordination there. And I think that's what really took them to the finish line. So, we were just saying kind of off air as well that Fiora Ornn is a doomed matchup. It seems really where you think the Fiora is going to be doing well, but sadly, that was where the cracks.
If the Ornn knows how to lane, it's pretty hard to win that
Yeah,
matchup.
I mean, fair play to Sir John Joe. Great guy. Please let me cast. Carrying on, thank you. That his outplays were actually exceptional as well. That attempted turret dive, CCing the Fiora, and then holding his own as well in that bot lane against 3 members of Violet as well. So a true gladiator, I think you could say there, indeed.
Yeah.
Max should be starting calling him Maximus John Joe, probably. Maximus. There you go, you see? John Joe. Yeah. But so what were your kind of general thoughts of that game then?
I think there were a couple misplays on the part of Gracelight Violet.
Yeah.
Not Gracelight Violet.
Gracelight, yeah. Let's call him Violet,
yeah.
I'll call him Violet, yeah.
Yeah. Like that tower dive early, like that really early tower dive where they kind of like screwed that up and the Kazakhs got a couple kills. I think that was like not a very good tower dive. I don't think that was like the best way to go. And a couple of the team fights seemed a little disjointed as well. You were on the news on that.
Yep.
For that.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And that's kind of where League of Legends comes through, and if you coordinate with your team, you get the right kills, then that's how you ultimately win the game. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the next picks. Of course, we continue that Gracelight Violet do not get their first 3 bans, and maybe that was a telling, really, because obviously now the great thing about bans is you played your first game and then you alter your first 3 bans to not face against those strong champions. But what they'll have to do basically is really build around the fact that they could be facing the same champions again.
Yeah, I think that's a huge disadvantage for Gracelight Violet.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, gotta keep your same team. Can't be doing any of those subs. But yeah, I mean, they do still get their last 2 bans at least, so they're not totally out of the picture. But do you see?
The prior effects are going to be affect like the first 3 effects because of the no bans.
Yeah. So Gracelight Violet don't get to do blue side, do they? Or it looks like that they are staying red side. Oh, they wanted red side. Well, there you go. Mad lines in disguise. I mean, as you can tell from my name, I'm a mad fan. So interesting to see. You're talking to your account, weren't you? That they've got their ups and downs, but probably ultimately blue side is still the stronger side, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see why they do that. Sometimes in terms of the jungle, that's kind of where you pick it, because then you get to start bot side and you're blue, and then work your way up to the red. So I think the Poppy was it did okay sometimes. It blocked the Kazakhs, but I don't think it was a crucial part of where they were winning. I mean, certainly the Zaya Rakan was doing well.
Yeah.
The Syndra was doing very well at times. But I think if I was to change things up for them, I think the Fiora Poppy is probably where I'd look to alter things, possibly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think if you're, especially if they pick orange first, this is not great.
Yeah. Yeah. We do see continued ban, so no Milio to be found here in these games at the moment. But it'd be interesting to
Another
see.
ban timer for
Yeah,
for
I know.
Gracelight Violet.
Yeah, gotta just wait it out. No professional gaming here, unfortunately. So, but do you think Gladiators are gonna stick to their same bans, or do you think they're gonna take anything away differently?
I mean, maybe they'll ban Desire or Recon. I don't really see a change of the bans. Yeah, it's like it's gonna be the same bans probably.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, they did win that game, so obviously, it does show that they can beat the Zyrakan. But I suppose if they wanted to, they could ban one and not the other, and that would take away that composition. So, but it does just look like, stick to what you know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So of course, gone through that ban timer, and
Let's see if it's gonna be the same ban again.
yeah, I'm trying to think what the last ban was.
I don't
last
even
time.
remember what the last ban was. Oh, they
Oh.
banned the Zaya instead.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they were thinking about it. I think, I know there was a Mordekaiser that was at the end, but yeah. I can't
Yeah, I
remember.
don't remember what the third ban was. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so there you go. Just taking that composition away, that bot lane comp, just by banning one of them and taking the Xayah. So yeah, Violet gonna have to be re-strategizing here, and they're probably expecting it as well. So they hopefully have got another ADC up their sleeve as we go into
Hopefully.
pick phase. Yeah. Clearly, yeah, I was going to say as well,
First
just
pick Nautilus.
yeah, standard really did pretty well in that mid lane, didn't it?
Oh yeah, like I said, mages are not great against Nautilus.
Yeah,
Why he's picked a lot in MSI.
yeah, indeed. It's interesting that now it's been picked. Like, I mean, it's not like Nautilus was never like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just I just do find it baffling sometimes that like the timing when they choose. I suppose it's a bot lane meta now, and they just want to kind of almost funnel that bot lane as best they can. So
And look, we might see a move here instead of the Poppy, which kind of does the same thing.
yeah, taking the Jinx away though, which is nice to see. I mean, that's a smart play. Not just instead of being able to ban them out,
Could also
they
be
can just
support.
yeah, could be Mumu support has been pretty strong, I think. So I do like that with the double bandage toss. I said the Varus to match in that bot lane there.
I think we can also see the support picture.
Yeah.
See like yeah, we can see the support. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's the jungler. No, wait, that's probably not being picked. Yeah. Okay, we see the mid lane picture. So it's gonna be Varus Nautilus.
Yeah. Yeah, of course we did see Victor banned in the second phase last game. So
Yeah.
obviously choosing to go for it earlier, mix things up. So yeah, that does mean that Nautilus is probably going in that bot lane. Doesn't mean it can't go jungle again, has been seen. So
Oh, we're gonna see the Camille that somebody was teasing.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very nice. I think Camille kind of does everything Fury does, but better.
Yeah.
She has that sustain. The Hextech Ultimatum keeps your target in place, and also has that percentage health damage as well. So yeah, I like the Camille change from the Fiora there, as we see the Gragas matched and banned again.
Lulu banned, so we're not gonna see Jinx Lulu.
Yeah, no Lulu there, so obviously not able to reciprocate their enemies what they did last time, so you're going to have to think about that. But like you said, if the Mumu was the support anyway, then it doesn't make too much of a difference.
Yeah.
But of course, now Violet have got the bans to think about, as they've probably got their jungler and top to think about, and what Camille doesn't want to
Kha'Zix
face.
is
But
banned?
there you go. Yeah, I think that's a very good shout there.
This last ban could be a jungler as well. No, it's gonna be wrong. Okay, so clearly I think the Amumu is going to be going jungle.
Yeah, it's interesting that they think that, because it's not necessarily true. Could be proved wrong. Who knows? But maybe they probably know the enemy jungler better than us. Maybe done their homework.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we got a Morgana pick here. The Amumu is going jungle.
Yeah. So I suppose they were right there. But yeah, I do like the Morgana actually. A really good counter to a Nautilus, to a Victor as well. So it would depend on what the final two champions are for Gladiators. But yeah, at the moment, again, I think Violet's team, in principle, is pretty strong at the moment. So
Yeah, top lane.
yep.
Could
Anything
be
I
going
can
top
do?
lane, could be going jungle. We'll have to see what this next pick is. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, I do feel it would be a jungle this time on the Poppy, but you know, very very in contrast to what Mithy's style
No,
was.
it's going
I was
top.
gonna say, yeah, no, I think I was gonna say Mithy after a Kha'Zix play, it feels a bit sad to kind of regress to a Poppy. So Wukong, very nice team fight composition, all round really everywhere as you look in these two teams. As we are into the last pick for Violet, and it does look like it's probably their mid laner to choose from here.
Yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to yawn there.
So okay, yeah. This is unfortunately the not so active part, but a Alistair coming
Alistair.
out. Wow.
Mm.
Now I can't say if you had given me odds for champions to be picked. I don't think
It
that
wouldn't be Alistair for sure.
No, I was not going to put my money anywhere near Alistair. So yeah, it
So,
does
so
look-
maybe a Morgana mid.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, Morgana mid, which is nice because, you know, like Gladiators did last time, they chose a kind of utility mid laner to funnel that ADC, and that's exactly what Violet are doing here. So they've got the Amumu, they've got the Morgana, they've got the Alistair, and then those two damage champions just to lead the line. So very late game oriented team as well. The Camille Jinx, I mean, both are kind of almost ticking time bombs in terms of hyper carries. You know, compared to Gladiators, Varus obviously can do the work, but Victor obviously is huge late game. But yeah, I think Gladiators, if they win this, I'll be even more surprised than last game. So you
Yeah.
know, they really do pull this off. Yeah, is that kind of your thoughts as well?
Yeah, I think so too. I think Gracelight Blue's got Gracelight. Yeah, Gracelight has got the Gracelight Violet. I don't know why I keep trying to say blue. Gracelight Violet's got the better team comp in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even albeit it is a bit weird considering like for what you usually see in like competitive play.
Mm.
You don't usually see things like Morgana mid or actually specifically Morgana mid. You don't usually see Morgana mid and like that kind of like an off role utility mid laner.
Yeah, I mean, it's just off meta generally, isn't it? Really, even in solo queue. So, but yeah, I mean, I like it. You know, I've played Morgana mid myself, and it's a very safe pick. You know, can't really go too wrong. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll definitely see how that goes. I'm not sure if it's favorite. I might be favored against Victor. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of data on Morgana and Victor matchup or any like Morgana mid at all to know whether it would be favored or not. I haven't seen Wukong in a bit either, but I know he's pretty good right now.
Yeah, Wukong has definitely popped up a lot more than a Morgana mid, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously did appear in MSI occasionally and did do pretty well as well. So, yeah, it's I mean, you've got the team fight potential there, obviously, with the Poppy we call Nautilus. It's just to see how they can really pull it off. You know, you've got to target the right players. You've got the Morgana Dark Black Shield to deal with. So Alistair is going to be a nice peel tool though as well. So
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Protect the Jinx for this comp here.
yeah, it's all shaping up to be very nice indeed. Yeah, so looks like we're cursing Violet again because I think we predicted them.
Yeah, we
Somehow.
predicted them.
We did, so maybe we should change it. So
Oh, yeah, no, we're gonna go Frostbite Gladiators this game.
Yeah.
Kappa.
yeah, Gladiators are really actually the ones going to win. But yeah, so there we are. I do like the changes we've had to Amumu as well. The double bandage toss. He's in a bit of a weak spot. I think he's still all right. I mean, the jungle meta as well that's been changed. You know, this season where jungle invading has been discouraged with the camps.
They actually kind of reverted those changes.
They reverted them.
Not completely, but like there's
partially.
not much of a there's not actually like a punishment for counter jungling now.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
That was
Well,
a
that
few
is-
patches ago.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Shows you how in touch I am with the game, but yeah. I mean, still. I mean, to begin with, I guess. So that's what they did. And maybe there is still a slight change, but I think it probably was too strong a nerf. Really, it was making it too easy for some safe farming junglers. I think.
Yeah. Also, it was easier to just like sit there and just gank 24/7 and not farm.
Yeah, well, that too as well. Indeed, very nice, nice alternative skin there for the Alistair. Not seen that one before.
With the going in for a ward on the top side.
Yeah, deep ward. Well, we all know what happened last game when a deep ward came out, so that's Syndra paying the price. Bit of toing and throwing here, but nothing really fatal, either threatening on either side. But it does look like this time, though, that Mithy, starting on that top side, you have, of course, got a Nautilus support, so that level 2 is going to be pretty important, and your jungler is definitely going to want to be there. So, yeah, it makes
jungler
sense.
definitely want to be at the bottom side too, yeah.
Yeah. So it will, of course, path down to really try and make an early impact in that bot lane, whereas the Mumu obviously wants to stay away from any monkey business, as it were, and is going to be pathing up to the top side. But there is, as you said, there is a blue ward in that red buff bit. So, be interesting to see if he does get caught out there or not.
I want to see how like Poppy or Wukong have the opportunity, or Poppy specifically has the opportunity to go in there when
we're
a move gets
straight
over
in
there.
though as well. Flash coming in from Killog, really killing is in the name there. Really no messing about. And actually does get the flash off the Nautilus, remarkably. So,
Pretty aggressive start here.
yeah, you don't mess with the bull, indeed. Yeah, but how do you see kind of the other two lanes going the mid and top? Do you see much action happening there?
I don't see much action happening there, not gonna lie.
No, yeah. Yeah, I think Poppy Camille is a bit of a lonely island, as it were. But I think in this mid lane, I mean, level 6 Morgana is nothing to be, nothing to flinch at.
For sure.
You know, obviously the Soul Shackles will hold you down and will dish out the damage with that Tormented Toil. So, but for now, doing well to push in. Morgana will push you in pretty hard under turret with that W. So Victor's going to have a bit of a struggle, but hopefully shouldn't be too bad there.
Rondo is a level behind Monsieur.
Yeah. And of course has got his jungler there waiting in the wings. Comes in with a bandage toss, lands perfectly. And that is as crisp a kill as you'll see on League of Legends.
I didn't even see the move there until the last second.
Yeah, hiding in the jungle, yeah. Very nice play. So just managed to kind of fire it past the minion just to hit the edge as well. So yeah, really well played in terms of the hitbox as well. So a nice proactive play there from BMO, whereas Mithy was the one last game to kind of make those first proactive plays. So all to do for the Wukong at the moment. Nothing in that bot lane yet, sadly.
Look, I think he's gonna back here for sure. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, Mithy is hovering around, but I don't think T-Bear is really having any of it. I think does know there is something up. Definitely
Well,
not
also like
overstepping.
Mithy knows there's vision there. I don't know why he's sitting in that bush.
Yeah. Futile attempt, really. Gillard going in, getting a knock up onto the Varus, but has he been off more than he can chew? He is a very, very tanky boy. Roots the Varus in the grenades, but a Ghost has been popped. Ramco thought he could get the kill, but now a Ghost has been replied with Amumu trying to come in onto the Nautilus, but in the end, Shenzhen able to get out of there pretty easily. A lot of back and forth there, an exhaust pot, but in the end, no kills in that bot lane still. And just the one kill for now. It's all a bit on a knife edge at the moment, isn't it? Just teetering for that next kill to come out. As it gets a stun, into the Camille as well. The W doing some extra damage, but unfortunately, Sir Jonjo himself is just a bit too low. The ranged auto attack coming in, the flash and the Q. You saw it coming.
Flash
And
Q
very
coming
well
in,
played. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just the same tale of last game. And so Jonjo with that tank making the 1v1 plays.
Yeah, Mithy just passing towards bot again.
Yeah, coming in, but Jonjo, yeah, has got that W. Very nice. Knew exactly what he was doing there. Alistair coming in with the charged Hextech Flash. Goes in onto the knockup, onto the Varus again. He's about to get his stun, but unfortunately he's just not quite tanky enough. Of course, he will get that Unbreakable Will at level 6, and he'll be surviving a lot longer at that point. So, for now, just kind of testing the water, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mithy gonna go for a gank here on T-Bear.
Yep. But in the end, actually,
The fact that
Gonna be able to walk
Wukong
away.
has no CC is a little hard to gank like that.
yeah. And the two junglers facing it off, and actually the Wukong is the one that had to run away there. Oh yeah, really nice steadfast presence there from Sir Jonjo again, just knowing his champion so well, not taking anything from Monsi. Can be careful here because you can see getting a bit lower does still have the Keeper's Verdict as well, so that Camille has got to be very, very careful. Of course, can counteract that Keeper's Verdict with the Hextech Ultimatum. Try and say that 5 times.
I was gonna try and say it 5 times, but then that would have caused some time.
Yeah, probably not a good idea. Yeah, so yeah, but for now, about a 500 gold lead in favor of Gracelight Violet, and possibly some action here. Nautilus did try and get the hook, but unfortunately he is the one going to be CC'd himself. He flashes away. The movement does go in as well. Under turret activates the Curse of the Sad Mummy, but is he going to go down with him as well? The Wukong is here. Mithy is in on the action for the first time this game. Has got 1 kill. The Alistair is very, very low. Is going to be able to get the dash. Yes, he is. He dashes to a minion to get the damage off. Amumu is low. I think he's going to sacrifice himself if he gets one more hit. No, he's just going to die to the turret. BMO walking away and getting a salvation kill in the end. No kills coming over to the Varus, but 2 did go over to Mithy. And yeah, I mean, overall, probably favoured Gladiators in the end.
I still favor Gladiators at 3-for-1 trade or 3-for-2 trade actually. No, it's
Two
no,
for
it's
one.
2-for-1
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-for-1 trade. Yeah, 2-for-1 trade is pretty good. I'm confusing myself with my words now.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I just get them mixed up. I'm like, how many people are actually in this fight? Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, the Alistair was still level 5, so no Unbreakable Will able to kind of counter that. But at the moment, you can see here, T-Bear on that Morgana mid is playing pretty strongly, aggressively as well, I should say. Pushing that Victor in there. You see the Alistair on the wings on your mini-map. Coming in and he's going to get the knock-up. He's going in for it. He thought about it. Oh, just had to walk away there. You can see his name up in lights. So Jonjo, yeah, really nice play on this Poppy at the moment. Yeah, and he's thinking about it here as well. He's managed to knock Monzi into the wall where he stands. Tried to do the ultimate flash that every player plans to do, but sadly this time it did not come to fruition. And another kill for the Monkey King. Takes him to 3 kills. Just not quite gone to plan on this Camille either, has it?
No. It's kind of the same fate as Fiora with the same kind of tank.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately it's, yeah, kind of bruiser against tank, and unfortunately the tank is coming out on top again. So Jonjo really does clearly know his tanks well.
Yeah.
But what do you make of this bot lane so far? I mean, neither bot lane has actually got the kills. It's the junglers that have secured them.
Yeah. I still think even with the dots that Jinx and Alistair are still winning.
Yeah.
The bot lane battle. They got to play it.
Yeah, you think the Jinx is in favor?
I think Jinx is in favor right now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they are just about to take their first dragon off the game as well. It'll be a nice mountain dragon, almost taken from the Varus. I don't know how much you watch the Worlds, but those
Oh yeah,
Varus
I remember
queues,
the Gumayushi stealing PO6
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it was just time and time and again. It was fantastic to see. But
PO6 had to
sadly,
go to NA because of it.
yeah, that's how salty he felt about it. Yeah. But in the end, no dragon steal this time for now. Anyway, still got plenty of barons to go, I'm sure. But for now, pretty level, and actually Gladiators 200 gold in the lead, coming in here onto the Victor, but too close to his turret to really cause any threat. Camille does have the extra ultimatum though. She's thinking about it. You can see there, she was just about to pop it, but so Jonjo was roaming down as well. So with the Wukong in the wings. And getting very low. The invis coming through as well, getting very, very low. The flash, one more hit should do it. A flash from Plat Police, just a bit of a cheerleader flash, but secured the kill nonetheless. And there's 4 kills now in this mid lane, taking down this turret. The Wukong looking very, very strong indeed. Trying to get a hook onto the Alistair into the bot lane. Unbreakable Will has come out now, so he's going to be able to survive for a very long time. The Mumu is here as well. Chains of Corruption are going to be able to stall that though. The Varus should be able to walk away. A flash for the Northless. He's going to be able to try and hook. One more hit should do it. Yes. The bandage toss comes in, and one more hit should do it. The Korean Sophia gets her first kill of the game. One more hit in the top as well. And it would have been a nice balance cross map, but in the end, it is just the Jinx that comes out with a really crucial kill there.
Yeah, and the mid tower is almost going to go away after that, during that exchange as well.
Yeah. Managed to really take a lot there. And of course, turret plate gold, you know, isn't always the most per plate, but accumulated really does make a difference. You know, that's 4 plates going over to that Victor. So if my math is good, that's about 300 gold. So it's basically a kill, really. A kill's worth of gold going over to the Victor. So really does make a difference. But you can see, I mean, BMO hasn't died, but definitely not got the same score as the Wukong. Meanwhile, though, we have got the Wukong in the top lane, so I'm not sure Monzi is aware of this, even needs the jungler to help him, Sir Jonjo, but thought about coming back in. Just baiting there. But where do you
Yeah.
see Violet kind of trying to get back into this game?
How do I see Violet coming back into this game? Literally through Jinx. They just have to try and get Jinx as far ahead as possible.
Yep. Yeah, nowhere else really to try and do the damage, but quite easy kill here on the Camille. But Poppy taking a lot of turret damage, has been slowed. She's still alive. One more hit will do it. Not quite as clean as probably Gladiators had hoped for their jungle top duo, but they do get the job done nonetheless.
Oh, this might actually be the first tower as well.
Yeah, you can see the Wukong is there everywhere, but in terms of the bot lane, Violet still have a fighting chance because they are taking them down. A second kill going to BMO. But like you said, in the top lane, that turret has gone down. And again, Gladiators objectively just really working the map very well. Maybe losing the kills here and there, but they are pushing this map forwards. And like you said, that mid lane turret is looking pretty low. So all set up at the moment. Gladiators certainly the ones in the driving seat. But, you know, like last game, that could change probably 3 different times. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Just like, what was it? God, I forgot the name of like when you just you poke somebody out. I just poking out Victor here as well.
Yeah, just sucking them dry, really, of that victory. Really sinking those fangs. Unfortunately, we don't have any vampire champions. We don't really have any vampire champions, do we? No. I mean, Vladimir.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I'm like, who is Vladimir? I mean, he's like such a dormant champion, I should say, as well. He does feel like he has been dead for 100
You
years.
face a good Vladimir, though. It's really annoying to play against.
Yeah, this is true. But Wukong really flexing his muscles now in the jungle, pushing BMO out with that flash as well. And unfortunately, Amumu may have the 2 kills, but just nowhere near as strong. And the Soul Shackles have come out. Morgana is going to try and do as much as he can. Roots the Poppy to the spot, but just not enough damage. We're going to go back into the Dragon Pit and to the River Chains of Corruption, holding the Amumu where he stands. And he is going to go down where he falls, because we're going to go mid lane is also on the attack as well. And Gracelight Violet, they are being knocked down across the map. We're even going to go to the top lane, and yes, the victor might have almost gone, but just the luck of the draw is not happening for Gracelight Violet. And they are aced across the entire map, as Gladiators are able to get their first straight as well. Yeah, just all fell apart there, really, didn't it?
Okay, it really fell apart. Like that was something that happened. And Mithy doing a little dance there before getting the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, was I mean a great Wukong pick. You saw they did hover the Viego in the draft, and I think the Viego definitely would not have been able to have this impact like the Wukong has. Even the Kazakhs, really. I think you know, we cursed Violet, didn't we, with the composition, choosing their composition a bit. But you've got to get to that stage of the composition. You've got to get to the Amumu being tanky, get to the stage of the Camille being able to split push late game, get to the stage where the Jinx is able to hyper carry. But you know, kudos to Gladiators. They've struck first.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to get to that stage when you're losing like 4K gold behind.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the scores, apart from the jungle, really, the scores aren't massively different, really, are they? I mean,
Nah.
you know, if we do bring up the gold differences for the stream, we can see certainly that about 1,000 gold in advantage for the top lane. Of course, there is that 2k difference in the jungle. But then again, you know, 700 mid lane, 300 in the ADC. So, you know, it really is all on this Wukong. And, you know, going in again, trying to get this next kill, but not quite getting it at the moment. And Morgana is able to survive for now. T-Bear not being able to do enough damage, has rooted him under the turret and does take down the victor, at least for now. The Wukong, of course, is still here, though, has got that Rift held out. And T-Bear's got to be careful though. One dash in and hit is dead. Morgana pops the stopwatch for now. The turret is down, but it's just a matter of time. And a big whack on the head means a 7th kill for Mithy.
I also did think about going in there and saving that, but wasn't gonna get it there in time.
Yeah. So Jonjo though, he did it last game. He's managed to knock away the Amumu, so it is just him against the Camille, who is about quarter health. And Violet, unfortunately, they can't just find a way into this game. They are being pushed back wherever they try. And the leaks are really starting to show a bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, you know, I am more of an Amumu fan, and I do like to try and see when Amumu does well.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I do like that he's gone the demonic embrace as well, you know, trying to kind of accentuate his kills with a bit of damage.
Yeah, it looks like it's a classic demonic embrace Jack Show combo from like preseason.
Yeah. Yeah. So is obviously starting to get those items coming through as well. We've got the Black Cleaver, which is going to be huge for that Wukong as well. So, I mean, he's going to be shredding Amumu like he's got no armor really at all. So, as you can see, going where he pleases, focusing onto the Camille, getting very, very low. She's going to have to jump out her own ultimate. And it is just domination indeed for Mithy and the Gladiators here at the moment.
Got some vision getting knocked down as well. For Gracelight.
Indeed. So Jonjo trying to look on the wings here and caught the Victor out at least. This might be the salvation for Violet, trying to get a kill where they can, but the Victor's going to flash away out of range for the Jinx. She is now pressed against the wall, taken down. Ramco killing his former champion from the last game. And just when you thought Korean Sophia had a way into this game, like you said, the Jinx, instead we are seeing just many more deaths for Violet again. And every time we see salvation, we just are pegged back into more and more demise, as the first Baron of the game is now going to be taken. Yeah.
First Baron, 7k gold lead. This game's over before it's over.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird trend sometimes that, you know, once a team loses their first game, the second loss seems to be twice as heavy for some reason. They've just, you know, they're just not been able to keep that mentality, and for some reason, maybe it's actually, you know, do you think it's the confidence of the team winning, or do you think it's more the mentality of the losing team that have just lost their way?
It could be the confidence. It could be either or. Like, it could literally just be either.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there have been parts that have been all right, but I just don't think. I think you're right that it's a bit of both. And Gladiators, I think, have just been more solid as well. You know, Mithy has 9-1 compared to was at 2-3 at one point on the Kazakh. So, you know, has really improved and cut out those kind of, because they were just silly mistakes, weren't they? They were just kind of going for kills. You know, went for that Syndra last game and got caught out. No silly mistakes, no overstepping here from the Monkey King, that is for sure. And, you know, Ramco doing very nicely here as well. I mean, no deaths yet on the Varus, so putting that Nautilus into the bot lane there.
Yeah, we might see like another tower go away.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the fight here as well, though. The Chain of Corruption coming in, the turret going down. Camille getting very low, but being able to escape with her life. And Morgana, unfortunately, you've got no Black Shield, just not been used. Poppy doing very well to knock them into the wall there. Alistair has got that Unbreakable Will for now, and he is going to be all trying to come in with the ultimate, but he is blocked by the Poppy. The steadfast presence just really coming through here, and indeed, so Jonjo coming through as Mithy trying to, again, stack his kills up more and more. He's focused onto the Amumu, getting his double-digit kills in this game, and like you said, it is a matter
literally made in here.
Yeah,
there's an end angle.
It's really an unfortunate sight to see, and I mean, we're not going to hit the 25-minute mark. This is certainly going to be the shortest win so far, and probably going to be the record to set in this Balance League season. As Frostbite Gladiators now are just cleaning up the mess. Violet trying to hold on here. They are getting very low. That does get one kill at the moment. Both next turrets are down, but is there enough damage to survive? No, there isn't. Ramco at the back, firing those arrows, firing the Gumayushi arrows, taking them down. And unfortunately, there's no Unbreakable Will, and he will be broken at Alistair very soon. No, he's going to be able to survive. And it's all a bit chaotic here. I think Frostbite Gladiator are just playing with their food at the moment. The Poppy is very tanky for now. But you have got a very, very strong Victor who has just taken the reins off the Wukong and will be able to split it
Nexus this game.
Yeah, taking the win there. And it is a solid 2-0 for Frostbite Gladiators there. Well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, kind of speechless, lost for words, really, at the end there. Just, I mean, we thought the last game escalated quickly. That was even
this
more.
was probably even more like fast.
Yeah, I mean, if we again bring up those damage stats for us on screen there, because mine is doing all sorts of shenanigans. I don't know if it might be happening for our streamer as well, possibly. But yeah, no, that's cool. That's all right. I mean, we know that Wukong did a lot of damage. Let's just put it that way. I think
Wukong did actually Wukong did fourth on the team.
No way, really? Wow. Okay, so
Varus got most damage, Victor and Spoppy were kind of that close.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Wow.
Wukong got fourth most.
My goodness. Well,
Morgana
yeah.
did 14k.
Yeah, Morgana doing a lot of damage, dishing out obviously to the Poppy and stuff. But so who would be your player of the series then?
I'm gonna go with Sojanjo. I think he was pretty integral to the actual victory. It's either that or Mithy. Like both of them did. Like both of them were very integral to the victories.
Yeah, really.
Actually, now I think about it, like talking it out, I think Mithy is actually the player of the game.
Yeah. Ooh, so John Joe's gonna put that scratch down there, maybe for the next casting. Who knows? But yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're right though. I think Mithy pulled it through. I think not just doing exceedingly well in the second game, but coming through that difficult patch as the Kazakhs when he was 2 and 3 to come back and get into double digits. So yeah, kudos to him and some really great plays, good team cohesion. So there you go. Frostbite Gladiators smashing it 2-0. Unfortunately, that's 2 losses now for Gracelight Violets. Yeah, and I think if we can try and arrange an interview, maybe it can be with the MVP if Mithy can come in. Otherwise, of course, we can. We're going to try and be getting someone in very shortly. But yeah, what's kind of any more general points you got, Durocat, about the games and how they went?
I think these were some very good games. That's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, it's a shame because Gracelight Violet did have some really well coordinated plays. That Amumu Camille first kill onto the Poppy, was so slick. Like you said, you didn't even see the Amumu there hiding in the grass, and unfortunately, just weren't able to. I think it's the consistency, wasn't it? Really, that kind of meant the Gladiators came out with a win. I think.
Yeah.
So keeping that consistency, taking those objectives. And weirdly, actually, as well, that things like Drake's didn't really make a difference. We didn't get to see a single.
We didn't
Elder
even
Drake.
see a soul.
No, we didn't even see a soul. Not a soul in sight. But yeah, so we do have Mithy waiting in the interview room now. So hopefully we can bring him on in very, very soon as the series MVP. There we are.
Hello.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Probably not as
good as well.
not as cheesing as you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a decent series.
Decent.
Not
Yeah.
bad for the first one. Not bad for the first one.
Yep. Yeah. First game, obviously, of this split. So
Yeah.
obviously, weren't feeling too rusty.
No, we scrimmed a lot. To be fair.
Yeah.
We played a lot recently, so I mean we're feeling pretty well. I don't know.
Yeah. Well-oiled
Sharpened, I
machine.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Indeed.
certainly seemed like you guys screamed a lot because you guys had like a really good cohesion there.
Oh, what did you say? Sorry.
I said it certainly seemed like you guys screamed a lot. You guys have some pretty good cohesion.
Yeah. I think it's oddly weird because we seem to throw a lot less in this game than in all those scrims we've played so far. Like I was saying this to the guys, like we definitely played a lot of this last game that we just played was probably the cleanest game we've had like so far overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I thought. Yeah. Go on.
Comes down mostly, like, I think it just comes down that, like, these guys, like, I look like I'm doing a lot, but it's mainly just like everyone around me is also just like permanently allowing me to do anything I want. Like, if I ever want to fight anywhere, they will all just move instantly, and it just allows me to play so free.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was saying to Juracat, I don't know how much of the stream you caught, but you know, in the first game, I think the difference was that you cleaned up your kind of silly mistakes of, you know, you tried to hunt down the Syndra's, the Kazakhs,
Yeah.
you know, try and pop off, and then, but you know, with the Wukong was clean and simple. So, did you kind of you realize your mistakes, you know, a couple of them in the first game and brush them up?
Yeah, I mean, there was one unfortunate death that Wukong gave. Was it my only death? The one
Yeah,
where I
it was.
just chased
Yeah,
Lulu?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I didn't realize he had boots.
yeah, you just walked in. I was like, is he doing anything
I
or?
didn't realize he had boots and my Q was on a 2-second cooldown. That was very unfortunate.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I mean, in the first game, I think Kazakh's a lot harder to play that game than Wukong was this game.
yeah,
And I realized, like, late game, I just have to like sit on the edge of the fight and kind of just throw in W's because that's what Kazakh does late games in teamfight. Just throw W's, and
yeah.
then whenever you see any opportunity, you can just go in and one shot someone. And Wukong is a lot simpler. I can just kind of run at them and press on my buttons, and they die.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
It's a lot simpler.
yeah, I was.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
we just played more cleanly overall. I think.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think you know, I mean, I'm a jungler myself. Definitely not
Same.
at your elo. Yeah, so both junglers. So you know, we talked about the Kazakhs and you know, trying to get in there early, and you had your little dip, but you know, you still pulled through. You didn't let it phase you, and you know, your team pulled through. And so John Joe with his you know, shall not pass on basically in the bot lane.
John was a beast, by the way. I'm surprised I got MVP. John was the real MVP of this fucking series.
Yeah.
This guy, he's like he can play carries, but we're just playing with tank to every game, but it doesn't matter. He still
Yeah.
just won me down to top lane.
He was still on carries in his eyes, really clearly.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, but yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, even though it was a 2-0 series, is there anything that you kind of guys are thinking about to improve on your next series?
I mean, I think our one main problem, this was mentioned on the power ranking stream. I don't know if you guys were watching that at all. Is that we have this problem where we'll get ahead early and we have a really good early game, but then
Yeah.
we'll just like throw it because we get like overzealous. It happened in the first game on that dragon fight where we like a lot of things like we're considering contesting it or not, and then we just kind of went back and forth, and then we did in the end, and then it would end up really bad, and that just seems to happen a lot where we just over contest and fights that are not winnable at all, and then we just lose our leads really easily.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what happened. First game was a bit of a roller coaster. I mean, we were literally talking about you know, that you guys were ahead 3-0 and a bit of a shock lead, and then you know, Violet did pull it back because of just you know, some random plays.
Yeah, a bunch of mistakes for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fights that we just do a lot, which
Yeah.
is our main problem, I'd say.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I mean, obviously, you know, that's picking out
Oh, we pulled
being
one to win.
pedantic.
That's all
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah. So, Joecat, anything else to add?
The chat wants me to ask. What was it? Can you ask anything about Jimmy V's contributing to your win today?
Oh, right. It's a meme because on their power rankings, they had a different support. They had Killon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I guess Rap goes to say that he's we won because he wasn't there. I guess I don't know,
Yeah.
but that's why.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we'll leave it there. So, congrats on the 2-0 win for your first win of the season.
Thank
and
you.
to many more spinning and winning on the Wukong.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, very nice. Cool. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good day.
Great. Yeah, and that will do it for us here today on the Balance League. Week 2, plenty more weeks to go, of course. So catch us Monday, Thursday, as you guys probably all know. So thank you to Duocat for joining here and keeping me on the straight and narrow. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.